The Swedish challenge of living alone in the wild has finally reached its final episode. Although the strength of this player is not very strong. But the show works. At first, everyone was so excited. But as the weather changes, people were crying pretty hard back there. As the contestants leave one by one, the rest of us are too weak. Now the two of you in the final round. What could go wrong? You can't just sit there and see who gets to starve. As long as we can get a big fish up here, the contestants can eat it for days. You can lick even a fish head clean. You think you're done with that? Lick clean bones and don't throw them. Put in a pot and add some water to make a soup. This is a really good bite to take. And whole berries for a snack. Does anyone want to experience this kind of life? Day 32 of the challenge. There are only 2 players left on the court. Who do you think is going home with the prize money? The camera goes to Daniel. Shave yourself for nothing. It's not very comfortable to deal with. I'm afraid he might accidentally give himself to karma. You don't have a lot of weight. It'll be even less if we get it down. Finally decided to get some food. There's still a lot of big fish left. Clean it and eat it in the stew pot. That's enough to keep me going for a while. The water level hasn't dropped yet. We need to save some of this fish. I wonder when you'll get food next. The reason I'm still here is simple. 1 is that the food has not been eaten. 2, I don't think there are many players left. It would be a shame to quit the challenge now. He needs to get his emotions together and carry on. It's going to be a lot worse for Jonas. He really didn't eat any food. I feel dizzy from hunger. The nets didn't work either. The mood is so low. He felt he had tried hard enough. I just don't know why it's not over yet. How many guys are left on the field? Jonas was on edge. I'd love to call the show crew. The only way to change that is to get food. Or this body won't last till the end of the day. The challenge is on the 33rd day. Daniel feels good about the fish, but not much for the body. It's just a little relief from the stomach pain. I don't know if I slept too much last night. It feels like someone's been wandering around the shelter. Seriously suspect someone from the show is delivering the food. I smell my wife's cupcakes. Seong had to get up quickly. Too bad you didn't see anything. I got my stomach growling from hunger. Didn't get much rest all night. I really need food to fill my stomach. I can only get a piece of fish now. I'm not doing so well right now. Want to know how the other contestants are doing? I wish I could invite them over for a taste. I should have smuggled in some seasoning. This fish will definitely get better. Jonas's fishing nets are pretty clean. It's been a long time since I've had anything to eat. The whole person was emaciated. I came in here with a little meat on my face. He was very worried that his body would fail. Need some food to fill up. Even a small fish. Hopefully it will calm the stomach a little bit. The show is worried about the health of the contestants. Send someone over for a quick check. If I hadn't looked at the progress bar, I was worried someone was going to get kicked out of the show. It'll have to be a good cover-up. They had lost a lot of weight since they had arrived, but not to the point of danger. It's okay to keep up the challenge. The doctors think Daniel's been fine for weeks. I'll see if I can resist missing you. It's just that Jonas is a lot weaker than Daniel. Plus, there's been no food lately. The doctor wants him to pay more attention to his health. Give feedback as soon as problems arise. Jonas was in a pretty low mood. He knew it meant he would never get food again. I'm afraid we're going to get kicked out of the show, despite what the doctor said about the dangers. But Jonas wanted to hold out a little longer. He thinks there won't be many left on the field. Every day we stay gives us a better chance of winning. All that matters now is catching fish. He doesn't have much time. The doctor said he'd be back in a couple of days. If I can't maintain my current weight, I'll talk to the show crew about quitting. They don't want to see a player's life in danger. He'll be taken to the hospital for rehabilitation. After watching the crew leave, Jonas was in a very low mood. He knew he wouldn't pass the next test. Even a bunch of fish isn't going to make you better right now. All we can do now is pray that the other players go home soon. If you don't catch a fish, 3 days tops. May I congratulate Daniel in advance for winning the challenge. Or maybe Jonas flipped against the wind. Daniel hadn't given it that much thought. All he cares about is how to live better, you know? All you can do now is make tea from whole plants. And half a fish is enough to get you through the week. Wait till dawn to check the nets. With any luck, even small fish will be enough. I'm just a little worried about my wife. Hopefully this week will bring the challenge to an end. I'm not going to be able to stop wanting to go home. All I can think about is my life at home. The mood became very low. It looks like Daniel could go home first. The challenge lasted 34 days. No one expected to wake up this high. The fishing rods are completely under the water. It's hard to even get a fishing net. A little worried about the water continuing to rise. If the shelter gets flooded, it's all over. Jonas was worried about food. Seeing how much water is rising outside, he felt like the sky was falling in. This is clearly to catch your own fish in the water. Try to avoid stepping on smooth rocks. Any fall could have sent him to God. Let's see if we can catch a fish now. This has been set up for days. He's more than satisfied with a little fish. Daniel thought about it for a long time. Finally, he decided to go into the water and set up his nets. If you don't do anything but think, He's going to throw himself into his work. I think we'll eat all the fish in 2 days. If there's no more fish after that, 3 more days tops. Or maybe he missed his wife too much and quit the challenge. Just trying to hang on. I hope the net catches the fish. Being hungry doesn't feel very good. Jonas was busy pulling the net up. He felt the weight a little different. There must be a fish hanging from it. Now speed up and pull up hard. Finally found out that it was their own illusion. The mood was getting very low. Did you really want to starve him to death? I got nothing out of it and I got wet. Now we have to go back and dry the fire. Living out in the wild can be tough. Daniel has at least one fish to eat. Even the bones he would chew and swallow. I dare not waste any food. Fish brains are also eaten with relish. Only Jonas was hungry enough to doubt life. I think he's on his way out. The body is too weak. There's no way to compare it to Daniel. Now Jonas has to do what he can to get food. If it doesn't work out, you're going home? Does anyone think he has any chance of getting food? I don't think there's much hope. Anyway, let's quit the challenge and go home and recover. I'm afraid I'll faint on the floor. Daniel felt a sudden sense of confidence. I think I'm sure I'll get a bonus. I don't know how many contestants are left though, but no one will be better off. I'm sure if I could just try a little harder. Be sure to turn your thoughts about your family into motivation. I'm sure his wife will support him. I wonder how she's doing on her own. Anyway, Daniel has a hunch the challenge is over this week, okay. The challenge is on its 35th day. Jonas felt himself trying harder. I can't seem to get food. The challenge was more difficult than expected. The body is under constant pressure. It's kind of breaking down. The show sent someone over to check him out. I'm afraid Jonas is going to be pushed out this time. The last time he ate was 7 days ago. The body is too weak. The indicators are already dangerous. The doctor felt he couldn't stay any longer. Jonas needs to be sent away to recover. Watch the doctors interact with the staff. He knew this challenge is coming to an end. He has no hope of winning the prize money. The program is based on doctors' advice. In the wild with Jonas, he can only be forced to withdraw. Although Jonas knew there was a possibility of elimination. But it's a little hard to actually hear. He needs some time to process it. The show couldn't even tell him he was second. That's very close to the prize money. Jonas was very grateful for the 35 days. It's a bit of a shame to leave this way. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital for a few days. The thought of it becomes even more painful, although he would love to stay and continue the challenge. But I know my body really can't bear it. He didn't want to lie here forever. Life has to go on. It's time to get back to your family. I guess I won't have a chance to take part in the challenge again. My advice to you is to practice your catching skills and really need to gain some weight before coming. Extra fat can also last a few days longer. Or you're out of the game, just like him. There's only one person who gets the money. I don't know how many contestants are left, but it must have been strong enough to make it this far. Let's hope they keep going. The good news is that I never have to experience hunger again. I don't know how long I'll be in the hospital. Jonas wanted to go home now and lie down, to share life here with friends and family. He was sure everyone would love it here. I wonder if he knows he's number 2. Will not cry more uncomfortable. With Jonas out of the challenge, Daniel was left alone. He's been here 36 days. He did not know that he had won the prize. Complaining that I didn't sleep well last night. I feel like my toes are freezing. A little worried about being out of contention. These berries are all you can eat right now. A little nutrition is good too. The wife is 18 weeks pregnant. I missed a lot for this challenge. I wonder how much my stomach has grown. If I can win the prize. He wants a bigger house for the baby. I'm not ready to be a dad. Don't know how to deal with kids. But one thing is certain. When he's older, he'll drag him over for a wilderness survival experience. Let the kid know how hard it is for Daniel. Do your best to constantly adapt to the environment. Try to hold out here for a few more days. It's almost a busy day. Take the time to have a good rest. The show crew on day 37. I finally got Daniel's wife and dog over. That's all Daniel has left to eat. I'm going to add some water to make a soup. It's more bone soup than broth. It's been great for Daniel. The show crew came over to pretend to inspect. He had finished the fish, and when he was done, he went to check the nets. The biggest difficulty for me is missing my wife. I just want to hug her right now. Daniel thought it was just a simple checkup and small talk. He doesn't think he's going to be out of the game because of this. Suddenly, another ship appeared. Take a closer look. Isn't that your wife and dog? Is he too much to miss the illusion? It's been so long since I've seen my wife. Daniel lost his temper in an instant. He didn't expect his wife to come here. Hugging each other. Finally able to end the challenge and go home. When I first came, I was full of excitement and longing. He also got a lot of fish to eat. Make the shelter look good. There are many difficulties though, but I got over it. Wait until the wife arrives to celebrate. This could be one of the most important days of your life. Take your wife to visit your own shelter. It's hard for her to imagine how Daniel got here. You know, I wouldn't last a day on my own. We have to cook him a good meal when we get home. Daniel is the winner of his life. Be sure to stop by for a group photo after the baby is born. I don't know who else will challenge me. Let's wait and see.